Hey guys, Rob Lally here. In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how the LinkedIn content algorithm works. And I'm going to actually give you 3 key principles to take away with you with examples to show you how to make your posts go viral, how to get more engagement on your posts, and also how to get more leads on your post as well from potential customers or potential clients that are interested in what your business is about. And by the end of today's video, you're gonna have this step-by-step plan that even if you just implement a little bit of it and take some of the things away from you, you'll be able to at least 2x the engagement off your posts and potentially get more clients from it as well. And these are techniques that I have actually used myself, which has helped me get thousands and thousands of views on my content and has helped me get people interested in my service and reaching out to me, and has really helped me drive my business forward. And I'm going to share that with you just in this video right now. But before we go into anything further, I want you to just think for a second about what the purpose is of you wanting to increase the reach of your content, right? And the reason why I asked that question is a lot of people think that basically the more likes and the more comments they get on their posts, on their content, on their videos, means the more clients they have for their business. And they associate like likes and comments with success of the business. And I just want to tell you right now that I've spoke to hundreds of business owners. Some are really big influencers as well and have a lot of followers, and like they'll release content and literally get thousands of likes and thousands of comments on it, but they're not running a very successful business. In fact, they're really struggling to just close one client. So this video is aimed at making content that actually helps you convert people into leads into clients as well. Just because we want to divide that line, firmly divide that line that likes and comments and popularity on social media does not equal success in clients. So this is what this video is directed towards. It's directed towards lead generation. So first principle is looking at LinkedIn's algorithm and looking at how it behaves at the moment. So in 2020, LinkedIn did an algorithm update, which is called dwell time. And what dwell time basically means is that LinkedIn basically rewards the content and shows content to more people of the content that people have viewed more or watched more. So for instance, I'll tell you a little bit about how it used to work. LinkedIn in 2018, 2019 had a content algorithm called Velocity. And basically you'd post a bit of content and it would have like a golden hour after you would post the content in which depending on how many people liked and commented on the post within that hour after you've posted, depending on how successful that post was going to be and how big it was going to be and how often it was going to be shown to other people. And basically people learned to kind of hack this. They would make a post and they would make sure all of their friends and connections would immediately comment on the post, like it. They wouldn't even read the post, they'd just like it and comment on it. And LinkedIn would be like, this is a successful post, and it would show it to more and more people. And you get basically really low quality posts, which will get millions and millions of views. And nobody could really understand why. It's just because the LinkedIn algorithm just decided to show it to more people, because people were kind of hacking it and were kind of basically like, oh, all my friends have commented on it now, so it's going to be big. And the directors of LinkedIn and, the client experience team, they really didn't like this because LinkedIn's supposed to be a relationship and networking building platform. And like, it's not about being like famous and social media famous and things like this. So they introduced dwell time now, where if a person releases content and 500 people instantly like that content without reading the post, it's not actually going to reward that content. What it is going to reward is more people actually concentrating on the content and spending time consuming it. It measures the time a person spent on the content, or like the time a person spent watching a video. And if a lot of people have spent time watching the video or spent time viewing the content, it will then be like, oh, hold on a minute, people are actually concentrating on this content, it must be good quality, so I'm going to show it to more people of the platform. So that's the first principle there, about knowing how exactly the LinkedIn algorithm works and understanding that we need to really be not only capturing people's attention on LinkedIn to make the posts go viral, but we also need to be maintaining their attention as well and keeping their attention as well, so they actually read the full thing, because then we can show LinkedIn that we're actually making quite good high quality content that people are actually interested in reading or watching, right? So that's key principle number one. So key principle number two is basically we want to now create great content which is gonna get their attention, keep their attention, and ensure that they engage on the content as well. So it gives like some talking space for other people to actually comment as well. And how do we do this? Well, first of all, we want to create a hook. This is to get the person's attention. And what do I mean by a hook? Well, in marketing definitions, a hook is basically an initial statement, an initial line that you can either write or that you can say in a video format that gets a person's attention. It makes them want to think like, ooh, what is this person talking about? Ooh, that looks interesting. I want to actually read a little bit more about this. And this is a hook in marketing terms. And if you actually pause this video right now and rewind right back to the start of this video, in the first 10 to 15 seconds, you will see that I actually did a hook in this video as well. And if you spot it, let me know in the comment exactly what it is and comment it if you can find it as well. And that is a good example of a hook right there. It's to just get somebody's attention. That's all its purpose is to just basically make sure their attention is on the subject that you're talking about. And you can do this in basically a number of ways. You can write like controversial hooks, you can write like a personable hook, or you can like write like my top 10 whatever. People love lists and things like this. And this will help you get people's attention. Now let's look at the main body of the content, or the content in the video. What does that need to be? Well, basically it needs to be something that's really, really interesting to a person. It could be something that's relatable. It could be a very personal story to you. Again, it could be like a list of things that is useful to this person. Maybe, you know, if you're offering business to people, it could be something which helps them get more leads, kind of like how I'm doing in this video. Or it could be something quite controversial as well, which keeps their attention and makes them want to engage and put their whole point across here. And that's basically what the content of the body needs to be. Remember, its purpose is just to be equally as interesting as the hook suggested it was going to be. And you want it to actually give real, true value to the person and not be kind of clickbait as well. You want it to give real, true value to the people, because then people will actually stop, they will read it, and they will consider it as well. They're not just going to quickly, you know, skip over it if it's actually valuable to them. And again, this feeds into LinkedIn's dwell time, and this will show LinkedIn, hey, people are actually reading this post and they're concentrating on it and spending time on it. I'm going to show it to more people. And then the final section of principle number 2 is the call to action as well. And a call to action is basically just a statement that you can put, you know, in the middle of your video or post, or at the end of your video or post, saying, hey, you know, what did you think of this? What's your opinion of this? Let me know what your thoughts are down below. And I'm actually going to do a call to action at the end of this video, but I also want you to note as well, about 2 minutes ago now, I actually did a call to action when I was talking about the hook. I actually told you to go back to the start of this video and re-watch the start of this video, and the call to action was, if you see the hook, let me know what it is in the comments. And this is just encouraging engagement. And I'm actually demonstrating live to you right now exactly how to create hooks. And here's some other examples I will put on the screen right now, showing you how to do hooks, how to do main body of content, and also how to do call to action as well. And the third principle here is, none of these tips or techniques or your knowledge of dwell time will actually work if your content isn't going towards the correct audience. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, you can't just talk about anything, unfortunately. You know, people, you need an audience which share a same interest as the content that you're generating. Now, here's a great example of this. Think of the motivational speaker, Tony Robbins. And Tony Robbins is one of the, he's the biggest personal development guru in the world. He inspires whole rooms, whole audiences. He motivates them, he gets them all talking, he fills them with energy. They describe it as a life-changing experience, right? So basically my point is he's a very, very good motivational speaker and personal development speaker as well. Now, the thing is, right, if we took Tony Robbins and we put him in a room full of 12-year-olds or, in front of a bunch of kids at school, and he gave the same talk, which was motivating and inspiring tons of people and making them feel thankful that they've paid thousands and thousands of dollars to be at his presentations and his seminars, and he started motivational speaking in front of these children, right? Would he have the same reaction? Would they be just as interested? Probably not. Well, in fact, I'd like to bet that they'd be pretty bored, right? They'd be like, who's this guy? He's not got enough flashing and colorful lights and things like this. He's not keeping our attention. They would just not be interested in Tony Robbins at all. Now, is that Tony Robbins' fault? We all know what he can do, and we all know what he's basically worth and how good he is on stage. But the thing is, he can't keep the audience's attention if his audience aren't the ideal audience. And this is the whole principle, right? You could make the best content in the world, but if you've got the wrong audience that you're showing it to, nobody's gonna like it, nobody's gonna engage with it. So what you want to do before you do any of, principle step 1 or principle step 2, you want to make sure that you go to your LinkedIn account, start finding people who are in your target audience, who are your ideal client, who are your niche, and start adding those people to your connections list. Start talking with them a little bit as well. And then it makes it very easy for these people to see that content that you've just made and be like, I really like what this person's doing here because, I work in this particular field and this person's talking about the problems and the solutions in this particular field. This is actually really valuable content, and they just keep seeming to get my attention with it because they keep making this really attractive first line, and I'm just the hook, I just don't know why I keep reading the content. And then what happens as well, it's this self-fulfilling cycle of the LinkedIn content algorithm just basically starts showing this person more and more of your content because it's well, this person originally watched your content. Other people like them are watching your content and actually concentrating and spending time on it. These appear to be the right audience for this type of content. So I'm just going to keep showing it to them again. And that's exactly how it works. And that's the 3 key tips for getting more reach on your LinkedIn posts and your LinkedIn videos and things like this and your LinkedIn content. I want to throw in a little bonus tip here actually. When a person starts to watch your content and they start to consume it and they start to enjoy it as well, what they generally tend to do is they basically will go and check your profile on LinkedIn. They'll go and check your profile and they'll read a little bit about you. They'll be thinking, who is this guy? What are they doing? It sounds really interesting what they're doing, and they'll check you out on your profile. Now, it's important that we have a profile that's set up in a correct way on LinkedIn to basically make sure that these guys are landing in the right area, that we've got a call to action on our profile, that our profile is congruent with who we are. I've actually made a video showing how to make a LinkedIn profile on YouTube as well, which I am gonna either put on the top of this video or I'll put it in the description underneath. Go and check it out. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. In summary, we need to understand what LinkedIn dwell time is. That's what I've talked about in the video. We need to make sure that we're hooking. We need to make sure that we are keeping the attention of our viewers, and we need to make sure that we're giving them call to actions as well so they can comment and engage, and that builds up trust in itself. And then we also need to make sure that we are getting in front of the correct audience and that our profile is up to date when they actually start checking us out. So I hope you enjoyed that video, guys. If you did enjoy that video, please like the video or subscribe to the channel. I've actually put some free training underneath this video of how to generate leads on LinkedIn. I'll leave it in a comment underneath this video. Let me know what you think of it. I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.